Hi, my name is Rena Corral Garcia. Today is February 18, 2018. This is for my Bio 240 Anatomy and Physiology class. I'm going to go over the digestive system and the pathway of food as we eat it and how it leaves our body. I'm going to start off with here I have a diagram. Here we have the mouth. As we eat, let's say a cheeseburger, the food is going to enter through our mouth, obviously. We're going to chew it, and that's a process of mastication. We're going to chew and chew until it's into these fine little particles, or so to speak, broken down as much as possible. From there, it's going to leave the mouth, go into the throat, which is also the pharynx, and then it's going to enter into the esophagus. At this point, the food is now called a bolus. So the food is, because it's basically broken down, it's just this little blob of food. So the bolus will make its way down the esophagus through the process of peristalsis, which is wave-like contraction, I guess, of the muscles in the esophagus. It's going to move down all the way from the esophagus, and it's going to enter into the stomach. The process of breaking down this food now, which was a bolus, is now called chyme, and that is become called chyme because it's broken down further by the enzymes of the stomach, gastric acid. I believe the enzyme is called protease. It's an enzyme that the stomach secretes, and it's going to go further with the breakdown of the chyme, or bolus, I should say, which turns into chyme. At that point, the food then moves into the small intestine. This beginning portion of the small intestine is the duodenum, and the duodenum is primarily responsible for absorption of nutrients, the vitamins, but it also is the area where it continues with the process of the breaking down of food by help with the enzymes from the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas, and that helps with breaking down of fat, carbohydrates, and protein. Protein is also broken down here in the stomach, and also absorption of vitamin B12. But furthermore, of this area, the duodenum, this is also responsible for absorbing nutrients, I should say. So that's the portion of the duodenum and the small intestine. The food now continues, it's liquefied somewhat, and is going to continue furthering into the small intestine, this region here. And in this region here is also the jejunum, and it's going to come all the way in, swirl around, get more absorption here, and then it's going to enter into the ileum, a little section. This is 3 segments of the small intestine. So the jejunum and the ileum, their process is absorption of nutrients also, and it takes it back to the blood. So that's how the rest of the body gets all the nutrients it needs, all the vitamins, wherever the fat, carbohydrates as we need, with the insulin, it assists with the carbohydrates, so the sugars, and that's furthering in the process of that. From the small intestine, it goes now into the large intestine, and it's going to come right out from the large intestine, enter the rectum, and leave into the anus. The large intestine's responsibility is really absorption of the water, that's whatever's in the food, and vitamin K, absorption of vitamin K. So water is recycled from the large intestine back into the rest of the body as we need it. From that point, it enters out and it's excreted, and it is feces. And that's how we get rid of the waste. It's leftover residual of waste from the food. That is my breakdown of the digestive system and the pathway of food. Thank you. My name is Rena Corral Garcia.